Hey everyone, wanted to talk about the importance of having a home. And when I talk about having a home, excuse me, my jumper's thrown about there. When I talk about having a home, I'm talking about that on a number of different levels. And I just maybe really ask you to think about what does home mean to you? I have a particular attachment to home. It's extremely important to me. As a coach, because I work from home and I run businesses from home, and also as a woman, home for me is a sanctuary. It's an environment of safety. It's an area of containment, and it's a kind of encasing kind of world where I really get to be myself, and I can function and be and live in a way that that I choose to live. And one of the reasons it's so important to me, and I hope it's important to you, because we know, so many of us know about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and we know about that need to make sure that our fundamental base level requirements are met. And having shelter is one of those requirements. And, I'm really big on it. How can you create an environment that's safe and secure and beautiful for yourself? And doesn't have to be beautiful for anyone else. It doesn't have to subscribe to anyone else's notion of what beautiful is. It's what works for you. That's what's really beautiful. And my relationship with home is probably so pronounced because of, and believe me, what you see here on the camera, our house is in shambles. We've got a half done kitchen. We've got ramshackle stuff outside. We don't have it all pretty and all gorgeous and all beautiful. But what it does have is it has the bones of that, and it's got a really good, it's being created to become the beautiful thing that we want it to be. And that's really important. So it's being actualized at the moment. It's in a process of being created. But home is really important to me because of my past. And as many people know, and my coaching clients know, women who've done some kind of retreats and courses with me know, and spent some time with me, that, I was homeless for many years in my early life. And, wow. When I wake up on cold days like this morning, where it's a spring frost and it's really chilly, it takes me back to what it was like to be homeless, to live in really grotty boarding houses, and to be so crippled by trauma and by frozenness and an inability to create and to be myself and to live, that I was just living in real destitution. And, I suppose I can't even put it into words what that was like. What I do know is I know the feeling of being so desperate and down and out that I rested my head on a filthy pavement all night in a doorway. I know what it's like to sleep in back lanes where there's crime all around you, and where there is this utter, where human beings are reduced to such a level of kind of deprivation and desperation. And I've experienced that stuff. I know what it's like, and I've lived to tell the tale. And more than that, I've actually lived to progress to the place I'm at now, which is absolutely fantastic, and that's something I'm really grateful for. And I'm really grateful for the help I've had along the way, and for the kind of, just for the love I've been given along the way, for the guidance I've been given from my coach and from other people, from, a vast array of kind of people who've helped me to really recreate my existence. And, so home is so important to me because I was once homeless. And there's many ways to be homeless. not only have I experienced homelessness in terms of sleeping on the streets and being in institutions and boarding houses and, you know, going from refuge to refuge to seek safety because of the violence and the difficulties that I was subjected to and things early in my life. But I've also kind of really come to know home and homelessness in terms of a disconnection with the self. And it's very, very important to me that I help women and men who want to come to me, because I have taken on men clients at times, but the women that I coach, it's very important to me that I show them ways to be really at home in their own physicality, in their own bodies. They're very at home in their own kind of the vessel that is their human self, you know, and they're very at home emotionally. They know what to do with their feelings and they know how to regulate their feelings, and they know that they're at home spiritually in themselves. I mean, it's so vitally important to me, and it's such a component of what I do with my coaching with women. It's vitally important, and it's just, you know, the disconnection from self that happens because of trauma or because of the problems that we have as human beings. And let's face it, trauma can be anything, any kind of problem, any kind of obstacle that we can't face and that stays stuck in us can become traumatic, you know. And when we're alone in that, we lose connection with ourselves and with our essence, and you become really disconnected and isolated, quite lonely, and quite kind of your body language changes, and you can see it in people. You can see it in people who are living in harmony with themselves because they're alive, they're joyful and alive. And there's nothing worse and nothing sadder when you see a woman who's collapsed in on herself. So the presentation physically becomes grouped. The voice becomes less sing-songy, like it has less prosody to it and less kind of flavour to it, and it becomes more, you know, down and depressed or monotone and emotions. You know, there's a flat effect of the face. It's kind of like things get depressed and stuff, and you know that's what disconnection from the self does. And you know, and I just find it really, really sad because it's watching women who aren't at home in themselves. They allow other people and other places and other things and other influences to take precedence over what they really know in their heart they want to be and they want to do. And, you know, I've spent many, many years getting to the position and the place I'm at with regards to my working environment, my intimate relationship, my material life, my emotional stability and well-being, and my physical and somatic kind of healing. All those components and all those aspects of me are really, really, they're kind of quite harmonized today. Not all the time, like life isn't perfect and things, but it's just these things all start flowing and coming together and becoming really meaningful and beautiful if we're living in true harmony with ourselves and living within our bodies in a way that's very attuned. And you know, and yeah, and I'm just really big on making sure that, you know, basic needs like safety, you know, a sense of peace, a sense of calm are there for the average woman. You know, it's really important to me that that we honour that, and we kind of understand that there are many women who don't feel at home in themselves, and they don't feel at home in their bodies and in their emotional realm, in their spiritual realm, and that things are a bit of a struggle. And I'm not saying that you can kind of be like that all the time, but if that can be a base place that you come back to, in the same way that a safe home can be a base place, that you come back to and ground from and create as a foundation, life is, you know, so much better, you know. And so what I do is, you know, I teach people to become at home in themselves. And then from that place, I also show them ways to functionally develop so that they can go on to actualize goals. And I give them strategies and the bridge from where they are today through to where they want to go. And so many coaches focus on this kind of end goal and end game as the be all and end all of what coaching is all about. And I have a slightly different kind of view of it. I think that it is very much about that. So what kind of home are you going to create for yourself and your life, you know, on all levels, you know, in the future? But it's also about where we are now and how we transform right here, right now, and how we also use a whole bridge of strategies and steps to get to where the end game and the end goal is. And without that middle bit, without that really important strategy and structuring and processing and you know, daily discipline and daily guidance from a coach, you sometimes can't get there. And so let's be really real in our discussions around this. That's what I'm on about. And let's not just give, you know, I don't want to just give people this kind of wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, it's all going to be fantastic because you're going to get to your goal and let's sell you that. Let's look at where you are today. How is your life really, truly functioning mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, creatively? So I get those 4 tenets from, of course, 12-step programs: physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. So if you hear those around, just be aware that their origin is very much in spiritual practice and the 12-step programs. That's the 4 tenets of the 12-step program. So know where that comes from, because just in respect and honouring of those particular modalities which are really successful for people. And then I extend it out a bit from that and look at the psychological and the somatic and the which ties in with the physical and the creative, because that's a part of what I do as a coach. It's how you create, how you be and how you move into creation through this processing of strategies and through this practice and actualizing of ideas so that they become manifest as behaviours over time, because it doesn't happen in a week and it doesn't happen in a one-off session, and it's a process and it takes time, but it is doable and it is possible. And the main aim of it is for you to live where you are right now, home in your own body with all the issues that you face, find strategies to move through that, and then find a new home and a new embodiment and a new reality from which you keep building. And it's on and on and on. It's a beautiful process, and it's called life, and it's can be spectacular. And the thing that's really sad is a lot of people haven't actually been shown the fundamentals of how to live. You know, they just don't know how to live. They don't know how to deal with trauma. You know, women don't know how to deal with trauma. Oh, I keep on eating, or I keep on doing this, or I keep on getting in these dud relationships all the time. And it's the same cycle over and over again for years and years. And by the time you're someone my age, where you're in your 50s, that's starting to be extremely painful. And a lot of women give up. And I'm here to say that no matter what age, it's never too late to undergo transformation if you have the right kind of guidance and coaching. If you have the right kind of stuff that will bring you home to yourself. It's just vitally important. So, you know, homelessness in all its forms, this is what I'm on about. Today's kind of, you know, little bit of thinking and thought on the subject, you know, that's what it is for me. It's just a bit of a few platitudes, and it's kind of, you know, a really wonderful thing when you start actually really living in yourself. You know, I don't take drugs, I don't drink. Not that I care if anyone else does, that's your business, but I don't do any of that stuff. I live really authentically in my own skin. I don't take any, you know, I just don't take anything. I just live really clean and beautifully and you know, it's good. And I wish that for everyone. You know, I really do. I wish I can, you know, I want to show women the way forward. I want to show women that the way that they're living, or the obstacles they're having, do not need to be there. And that if they just get shown these strategies to make change, they can and will make change over time. But it involves the end goal, being real about where you are now, and then getting guidance around that kind of bridge that kind of, you know, takes, you know, fills in the gap that you have between the two, between present and goal. You know, so it's really getting into doing the work in that interim kind of phase, which is the bridging phase, where you know, reach into new things and you reach into new strategies and new processes. So I hope that's helped, and I hope you come home to yourself. You know, I have, and it's a really beautiful thing, and I want to really show other women how to do that. So have a great day. It's Friday here. I don't really take weekends. I kind of just do what I do whenever, and I live like that. So I've just taken my dog for a walk. I'm going to maybe plant a couple of trees now on our regenerative farm. I think I'll do that. I'll get out and do a bit more physical work. And then I've also got to do some other computer work, which will be kind of nice. You know, I get a bit of resistance around that sometimes, but, you know, bring myself back to that, and have a great day. See you later.